What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Another week of college football. We're looking at conference championship week. There's some huge games this week with a lot on the line. Another great week for the whiteboard guys, coming off another 2-0 week. That's actually my third 2-0 week in the last 4 weeks. We're 7-1 in that time span. We sit at 19-8 overall for my official whiteboard winning free picks. That is over a 70% winning percentage on the free stuff. There is no other social media account or YouTube channel providing free picks season to date at 70%. So definitely hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, guys. That is unbelievable. Boston College, the Colts on the money line. Nice. Hopefully I can get some more winning whiteboard free picks for you guys in the future. And speaking of premium, man, we are on a generational run in college football. We're actually coming off a small losing week. One single live bet to end the day was the difference between a winning week and a losing week. But when I say losing week, I'm talking half a unit, 0.6 units, just over half a unit to be exact. But you can see it on the screen. I'll even make it easier for you guys to read. Over the last 7 weeks, basically 2 months of betting on college football, I'm up over 32 units. I mean, this is unbelievable. If you guys were just betting $100 a piece, that's over $3,200 of profit in your pocket. I only charge $89 for an entire month of my picks. And now with college basketball in the mix on a daily basis, the value goes up. You can expect texts to be sent out to clients on almost a daily basis, unless the slate is like really, really ugly and we have to pass. We're ready to rock and roll. It's time to go on a good streak here. It's kind of a nice reset weekend. We did have a losing week overall. So a nice reset. I mean, we had 2 months of just straight fire. So a nice reset. Time to go on another generational run. I love the weeks coming up. And I love today's games, man. We're going to go over every single game. We're going to do some spreads, some totals. We're going to use FanDuel. Let's do it. By the way, guys, the link to my website, danspicks.net, it's in the description. Sign up. You can get a week if you want, but lock in that month. It's a better unit price. If you get a month of my picks, it comes down to $22 a week. A $20 bill, basically. I mean, if you don't have that, you should not be betting on sports. If you want to win, seriously, long-term, get on there. It's a no-brainer. We're going to use FanDuel. Let me bring up the screen. We're going to look at some money splits today. It's early in the week. We're not going to put too much weight into it. But, yeah, man, huge week. There's a lot on the line. These games, very, very important for certain teams. Let's go, man. College football, conference championship week. Western Kentucky and Jacksonville State. I think I got to take the points. Let's look at the money splits for this one. I don't expect Western Kentucky to win this game, but 4.5, man, it feels a little bit sneaky. Let's look at the money splits early. And yeah, I mean, the early money splits, it's not really surprise. It's so early, guys, in the week to even put weight into this. But there's a lot of sharp action early on Jacksonville State. We'll have to see what the books do if they adjust, if this line goes up. But 4.5, I'm still going to take the points. I'm not going to put too much weight into this. I expect the game to be at least competitive. If it's a 10 or an 11-point game, one last touchdown in junk time, you know, when the team is down 2 scores, will get us back within the number here. I expect both offenses to do okay in this one, but you know, the under over at 57.5, I got to pass on that. So lean Western Kentucky, lean over. Next game, UNLV and Boise State. Oh, man, I think this is another one where it's like, do we have faith that UNLV can match up enough in the running game? Because, you know, that's what it comes down to here. And there's even a +4 on DraftKings. Obviously, we're using FanDuel today, but I'm looking at the money splits on my phone. A lot of the spread money's on UNLV. A lot of the money line money's on Boise State, obviously, here. I'm gonna lean towards UNLV. You know, I was actually impressed with them this year. And if they can just come up with a game plan, if they could just figure out just a little bit here, you know, to get this done and at least slow down, not stop. You won't stop it, but at least slow down that running game. They're going to be in the game and they could pull the upset off. The other thing is you got to look at the seeding right now. Boise State, if they win this game, they're going to make the playoff. So you could say that's high motivation, but UNLV, man, the only opportunity they could ever even possibly have is to win this game, win it in dramatic fashion in a blowout, really show up here with a good effort. I'm going to take the points again, and I have no lean on the total. Probably the under, just because Boise State's, you know, they put the ball on the ground, and if UNLV has a little bit of a game plan to slow that down, that clock's going to be moving. So lean under, lean UNLV. Iowa State, Arizona State, a 2.5-point spread. Let me bring up the money splits on this one. Actually, Tulane and Army is on here. I'm in New York, so it doesn't always pop up on my screen when we have an Army game, a Syracuse game, St. John's, stuff like that. I know some people ask sometimes. New York games are not available to me in college sports. Tulane and Army, a 5.5-point spread. I would lean Tulane. Love the Academy teams. They play hard. Obviously, Army this year isn't as one-dimensional as normal, but yeah, I would lean the under, and I would lean Tulane and the points, to be honest. But this next game here, we got a lot of money on Arizona State so far. The money splits look okay. Obviously, most of the money on a game like this is going to be on the money line, not the spread. So right now we see about half the bets made on Arizona State, about 3/4 of the money on Arizona State. As far as actually predicting a side or a total in this game, or not a total, a side or a spread in this game, I have an extremely strong opinion. One of my strongest of the entire year. It's going to be a pretty significant premium play for clients. So I'm not going to give that out in today's video. Obviously, the slate this week isn't the normal slate where I go over dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of games. So I can't actually give you my predictions on every single game this week. But I will give you a lean on the total here at 50.5. And I think I kind of like the over. I think I kind of like the over 50 here. Again, Arizona State with that running game, always kind of a risk to bet a total. But I don't really have too much faith in Arizona State's defense. I know it's looked good at times, but I think Iowa State can score. I know Arizona State can score. I think 50.5. You never know if you get overtime in a game like this. I would lean over the total. And again, a side will 100% be sent to clients. This will be a pretty significant play. Really, really like it. Ohio, Miami, Ohio. I like the underdog here. I like them. I'll take the 2.5. I'm not going to go money line. But yeah, I think Ohio is going to find a way to win this game. It's a low total, grungy game. It's going to be a good competitive football game. I'm going to go Ohio in this one. Georgia and Texas, similar to that other game, guys. I have an extremely strong opinion on this one. Very, very strong. And it'll be sent to clients. I'm not going to give you the side in this one. We could look at the total, though. I think you got to lean under. I think this has come down a little bit. There might even be a 49 or a 50 out there. There's a 49.5 on ESPN Bet, and I would play under the 49.5. Obviously, 48 and 49, better value on the 49. I'd look under. I think both defenses will do good here. I think the coaches will kind of have a conservative game plan. It should be a good, competitive, hard-fought game, and as long as we can avoid overtime, I think it barely slips under the number here. I think both teams are going to step up defensively in a game like this. So I would lean under 49.5. Again, that's available on ESPN Bet. And as far as who's going to win this game, very, very strong opinion. That's going out to clients. Marshall and Louisiana here. I gotta go Raging Cajuns. Marshall, man, they have, decent program. We've seen what they've done. They're kind of a team that pulls random upsets at random times. I just don't think it's here. I like the offense for Louisiana here. Maybe just look at a team total over for them instead of playing the game to go over. But even at 5.5, I'd still lean that way. Clemson, SMU. This one's on the fence, so I'll give you my opinion fully on this game. Might bet it, might not, probably not. This is hard. This is hard because ultimately Clemson looked okay. I mean, they should have beat South Carolina. But man, they rely so heavily on that home field advantage. This game, I don't know. I think SMU money line is the play. In a game like this, you cannot be laying points. If you like Clemson, take the points. I just can't trust Clemson, man. They really needed that last game. I know they got super, super lucky with Syracuse beating Miami. So now Clemson has a life. And maybe that's enough to rally the troops. Dabo, maybe they can somehow get fired up here. I just think SMU is just a better team, and I think it's just the Clemson name, the Clemson program, Dabo Swinney. I think the last 10 years of college football is keeping this number down at 2.5. I have to go with what I think is a better football team. I would lean SMU on the money line at -128 to get this done, or the best money line you can find, which is actually, -125 ESPN Bet. As far as the total's tough. Total's tough. Probably an over. I have really no faith in Clemson's defense. Like the offense, but SMU is kind of a scrappy team too. They might chew clock in the second half. The total looks pretty accurate to me. That should be a good game to watch, though. As far as one of the best games to watch of the day, that'll be a good one. But it's got to compete with another one in the same time slot here, guys. Big Ten championship, Penn State, Oregon. It's crazy. Penn State, man. I told you guys for weeks and weeks and weeks, I like this Penn State team. But now they got Oregon. Spread's only 3.5 here. The money line's interesting as well. Total at 49.5. This is another game where I have a very, very strong opinion on the side. I'm not going to give out the side. Very, very confident in the side in this one. But the total, 49.5. Is that what it is everywhere? So there's a 50 out there as well. There's an even 50 at minus 110. Yeah, I think you'd have to maybe lean under the total here. It's hard to say. I mean, both teams can get rolling. Obviously, we know the power of that Oregon offense. And even against a good defense, eventually you would think it would wear down, right? And Oregon could definitely open up some floodgates in the second half. But at the end of the day, Penn State's, identity is running the ball and using that tight end and, playing good defense themselves. So a little bit of conflicting styles. You would think Oregon's offense is too potent to, be held down forever. I think ultimately in the modern day, the modern era of college football, offense has the advantage over defense. It's kind of like college basketball where you can't do the press and you can't guard someone and maul them and be all over them, with the cylinder rule. And, the new rule changes for every sport. Baseball, we see the game being sped up. Everything's for offense. Everything's for, entertainment. And I think offenses always have the advantage to some degree. But guys, I cannot stress it enough. I really can't stress it enough, guys. Look at the numbers. I'm up over 32 units over the last 7 weeks. I've only had one losing week this past weekend, losing about half a unit. I am the most locked in sports bettor on college football right now. This is a perfect time of year to come into conference title games, to come into the college football playoff, to come into all the other bowl games and continue to excel. I've put the most effort. I've watched the most hours. I am the most dialed in college football available right now. I am the most dialed in college football person on the earth. I truly believe it. I love these games. I love the future. I already have been kind of writing down the college football playoffs, certain scenarios, certain numbers I would bet. I'm ready. I'm ready to take advantage of this. Take advantage with me. Sign up. Link in the description. danspicks.net. Again, I've been sending out college basketball. We're making our transition on the channel to college basketball. We have plenty of NFL left. NFL's been kind of behind the 8 ball, much more losing than winning as far as what I expected this year. That will come around. My long-term numbers are excellent in NFL as well. So I have full confidence we're going to clean up and really excel here at the end of the NFL season. It's going to be a historic month, man. The last month of the year, December. Let's end 2024 on a high note. Join me on the journey, guys. There's going to be a couple of losing tickets in the mix, but if you know sports betting, you don't win them all. I win a lot more than I lose. And as always, guys, load up that comment section with what you like on these games. Drop a like on the video if you haven't yet, and I'll see you tomorrow in the next video.